Whether you are starting out with homeschooling or you've been homeschooling for a number of years and you want to change up your curriculum, you know what? There is so much out there to be looking at and be trying to work out what is best for your family. I get that. It can feel overwhelming, especially if you're not sure what questions you want to ask and what is right for our family, but there are so many great options out there. There truly are. And there are some that are, maybe not right for your family. They might be right for others. Well, I have looked at 2 curriculum previously in some vlogs. I've looked at a Christian one and I looked at a secular one. Well, today I want to look at a purely online public school curriculum, the K12 curriculum. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life, and thank you so much for joining me today, for watching these videos, for subscribing. Hey, don't forget to give that thumbs up. Well, curriculum and homeschool, we can feel a little overwhelmed at times, especially when we're trying to really work out what is best for our family. There are ones that are going to work great for some families, but not for others. And I totally get that. We have different personalities. We have different sort of desires of what we want for our students. Well, today I want to look at the K12 curriculum. It is a completely online public school. And I know that this speaks in great excitement to some families, that they're like, oh, you know what, this can really work. My child doesn't have to be in the brick and mortar school, but as a parent, I don't really have to be doing too much. I can give them my child that education that they need, but I still have them at home. Totally get, all of those reasons. Well, today I want to look at some of the pros and the cons of the K12. Now, remember, I'm not paid for these reviews. This is me in my own research. I have researched K12 with some families that I was working with to try and work out, was this best for them? I spoke with some of the K12 people to find out, what we could be doing for these families. I've spoken with friends that have had their children doing the K12, and I found out the things that they liked and that they didn't like. And so this is where this review is coming from. It's not paid advertising. Let's look at the pros of K12. It is a complete curriculum. Yes, for many people, that is a wonderful thing when it comes to their children. Complete curriculum. You're not having to think about the extras. It is all there. And that can be so very helpful when choosing a curriculum for your family. It is nationwide. Now, we do not have a national curriculum in the fact that it's the same wherever you go in the states, but each state does have its form of K12 that follows its indicators and its outcomes and its Common Core and all of those different things. So K12 in Georgia is going to be different to K12 in California, but it is available nationwide, and this can be great for families. It is free and online, and it's a public school. Yes, free online public school. This is great for families, especially when finances might be an issue. Curriculum can quickly add up. And, if maybe you're just needing to take a break out of the brick and mortar system for a while, this gives you just this free online access, which makes it just a whole lot easier for you when it's right there at your fingertips. All learning materials are provided. One of the joys of a complete curriculum, that it is there. Pretty much it is all online, so you're not having this outlay of all these additional things that you are having to get. It includes all the informal and the formal assessments. As parents, that is a great concern for you. Is your child progressing? Are they doing well? Then there you have it, just like you would in public school. Why? Because K12 is an online public school. It is easy for parents to see the progress because the assignments are turned in, there are teachers assigned, they're getting that feedback. And for many parents, yes, this is what they want, to see that consistent feedback, to see how their students are going. You don't have to plan any lessons. What a joy, right? That can be a big turn off for people when they're looking at bringing their children home to homeschool them. What if I have to prepare this and I have to do this, I have to do that. With K12, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. That is how it's designed. It's for the student. They have their teachers online and the parent can be the parent. So let's look at the cons now of the K12 curriculum. And again, these are ones that have come from my research and from talking with friends. You need to have a computer that can run the program, that can run the software. It can be quite hard-hitting on computers, so you need to have one that has that strength. And if you have more than one student, you need more than one computer. And this can be cost prohibitive to some families to make sure that they have exactly what is needed. Not enough teaching help. Now, some parents have really complained, that, we're told that they've got these classroom teachers and we should be able to reach out and get responses, but there are large numbers of students per teacher. They're really overseeing a number of classes. I have heard numbers of really like 150 students to one teacher. Maybe getting that feedback is not happening as quickly as you would like. Even for the student that maybe they've emailed their teacher, but they haven't heard back and they need that feedback in order to do the assessment. And for some parents, that really, it's troublesome to them that they're not getting the feedback that they need, that the child is not getting the feedback that they need either. Too much individualized learning. So this has been a complaint in that really there's not enough teaching instruction, that there was this expectation that there would be more sort of online teaching, the teacher running a class, like we're sort of seeing in virtual learning with teachers doing it, but the students in a way having to teach themselves. And this has been a big turn off for a number of families. They're like, I didn't sign up to be the teacher. This is not why I picked K12. I wanted my children to be taught and for me to be able to be the parent. So too much individual learning, especially for the younger children, can be really draining and really tough on a family, especially if you have multiple children in multiple grades. It's not the easiest curriculum for children with learning issues. If your child needs an IEP or a 504 plan, even just sort of has a diagnosed learning disability or difficulty that maybe doesn't have a 504, but you are aware it's not the most intuitive program and software and curriculum for them. And I know a number of families that thought that this might be good because you see they're not there. Maybe we can go at a slower pace, finding that that is not happening and the accommodations that their child might need is not happening. And so for many families, it was like then pulling their child back out of K12 and putting them back into a more traditional homeschool setting where they could accommodate to their child's needs. The inconsistency on how much seat work there is. Maybe one day there's a small amount of work, the next day, there's 8 hours. There's all of this sort of even that inconsistency on how much instruction to then how much testing. Too much testing. Now, I get that you want to have your child progress and move forward and to see how they're going. And when you have that number of students and you aren't seeing them in the classroom, really the best way to do it is continual quizzes, tests, assessments. But do we really want to suck the joy out of life for them and out of their education? So too much testing, too much seat work and too much inconsistency on how much work needs to be done each day have been a number of main negatives for families that have been with K12 and were a part of their deciding factor to pull out of K12 and pursue other curriculum. So is this a curriculum that I would ever choose really for me and my girls? No, really it wouldn't be. Just if we're going to do public school, I'll put them in brick and mortar public school. I don't need them to be doing it online. Part of the reason being at home and homeschooling and unschooling is so that we have this freedom and this flexibility. We've moved away from testing. We've moved away from these deadlines of when things have to be in and constant assessment, which, you just have to remember. The difference between K12, online and public school, is that K12 is online. Okay, you're just not there in that classroom setting. You are at home. Now, this does work well for a number of families, and that is great. And if this would work well for you, then you do it. But if you try it and it's not working well for you, it's also okay to say, you know what? It's not working for us. I need to go with something else. And it's also completely okay for you to dismiss it and say, this is not something that I want for my family, for my children in their education. So personally, it is not something that I would use, but I understand why some people are choosing it for their families. Thank you so much for watching today and for being part of Learning Life. If you want to keep seeing videos like this coming out, you can join us as a champion, and you can check that out on patreon.com. You can also check out my website, which has other blog posts and videos and information and links, and you can check that out on learningthis.life.